Hey guys, we're here with Joe Nusbaum today. He's an attorney out of Boca Raton. He's been practicing like
25 years.
25 years. I was gonna say 100, but
Yeah.
25 sounds better.
I'm lying. I'm downplaying it. You know? A lot of times guys like to make it bigger than it actually is, but no, I'm telling you the truth. 25.
Size doesn't matter,
Right.
results do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, all right, so we got Joe Nusbaum here. He's an attorney that we use for our litigation cases, that we refer some of our litigation cases to because he does a great job. He just settled one for like 700 and something. When you get to 700, you don't care about the rest of the number.
Right. And when you sent it to me, it had a $900,000 offer, but I ended up getting 700. So
that's why we send them to you. It's too much money.
Right. We don't want our egos to get that big.
We got to stay humble. So, Joe, tell us about yourself, your practice, what you guys do at your office, stuff like that.
I mean, personally, I was born and raised in Miami Beach, so I've never been, to me, this is the most north I've ever been in Boca.
Super Cuban guy.
Super Cuban guy, that's right.
Dímelo, chico.
Both parents are Cuban. But no, our practice is mainly, not even mainly, just solely BI, med-mal, nursing home stuff. Some
I didn't know
stuff.
You guys do nursing home stuff. That's good to know.
But nursing home stuff is kind of trimmed down because the nursing homes don't require insurance policies. When they have them, they're very small, and they're called wasting policies. So the attorney's fees come out of the policy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I've heard of wasting policies. Yeah. They're really bummers.
Yeah, very, very frustrating, especially when you have somebody that really needs it.
Yeah.
But you can't get it.
And they want to delay the case and defend it for as long as possible, so
to soak up all the cover.
Because the defense attorneys need to make money too.
Everybody in our practice needs to make money, right? It's unbelievable.
It's funny. I just had a lady yesterday call me. She's one of those clients who tells me that her life has been turned upside down. I can't work anymore. I can't go to the doctor. I don't have time to go to the doctor because I have to work so much, but I can't work. My life is ruined. And then she's been treating with the chiropractor for like a year or more. Doesn't want to get injections, doesn't want to get surgery. And where was I going with this whole bit?
I think you were going on and telling me how amazing I was, or something.
You were amazing.
Like
you were amazing, and she was. Yeah. Anyways, I remember. Where was I going with that?
We were talking about wasting policy.
Oh! And then she says to me, "I feel like everybody's trying to make money on me," and I said, "Yes." I was like, "The doctors are treating you. They need to be paid. I'm working on your case to get you paid. I need to get paid, and the goal is to get you money in your pocket too, so that you have money for your injuries. But people don't understand, so.
Well, and how often have you heard a client come in and say, listen, I'm hurt, but it's not about the money.
Oh.
And you've got to tell them, it's okay that it's about the money.
Yeah.
That's what our system allows you to get. Our system allows you to get money. We're not allowed to crash into somebody else. We're not allowed to kill somebody else. Our system allows, so it's okay that it's about money.
And I can't fix your injuries. I could help you see doctors that can help reduce your pain and stuff like that. Maybe they can get rid of your pain. But the only thing I can do for you is get you compensation money.
And maybe steer you to somebody that you trust and
Sorry, that was me.
Yeah. Maybe steer them to a doctor that can help them out.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the key. And then you hope they just listen to the doctor.
We hope.
The frustrating part, and I know we all go through it, is when, like you said, a doctor is recommending certain things that'll help you, but the person doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And well, then how am I going to convince somebody that you're really hurt if you're not doing the things that the doctor tells you to do that's going to make you feel better?
Right.
So, listening to the doctor is critical.
Yeah.
We don't give medical advice. We just put you in the hands of the people that do.
I give tons of medical advice.
Yeah. Me too, but just not the clients.
So you were telling us how amazing you are. You guys do.
I'm actually not. I'm like, maybe in the lower third of lawyers in this
Get out
state.
of here. I don't think your results indicate that, but sure.
It doesn't take a great lawyer to do a good job on a good case. You know what I mean? If a case is what it is, I remember going to a CLE years ago with a lawyer saying, "You're not a great lawyer if you get a $7 million verdict on a $10 million case." So
that's what drives me crazy about these billboards.
Yeah.
So and so got me $500,000. Was it $1 million case and they settled it for $500,000? What was it? Did it go to court? Like, what happened? So.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, you talk about that, and a friend the other day said we got to get billboards next to them where it says they got me $200,000 and put a billboard next to them. Yeah, but it was $1 million case. Yeah,
That'll get you a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Joe was just telling us that the whole 10x thing, he follows a different guy. He follows a different platform.
My guy's the 11x guy.
The 11x guy, yeah. The one-upper. The one-upper, son of a gun.
7-minute abs.
7-minute abs, I love it. I've been working on 7-minute abs for about 10 years now.
Really?
As long as I've been married.
I've got a lot of minutes devoted to these abs. just the other way.
All right. So, all right, we were talking about some stuff. We were talking about how shitty sometimes the laws are.
Yeah, and insurance companies are tough. I mean, oftentimes as plaintiff lawyers, we get frustrated with defense lawyers, and it's really not always them.
Yeah.
I think if you do this long enough, you realize this is kind of the route something should go.
Mm-hmm.
But then a monkey wrench will get thrown in really by an insurance company, not really by the person you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they feel as frustrated as we do.
Yeah.
Trying to get to that, because that's what we do, right? Our job is to navigate to the end.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get through all the pitfalls and get to the end? Hopefully find justice for our clients, which is an interesting word, right? Justice. What is justice for our clients?
Right.
But insurance companies, policies, adjusters, very difficult. Very difficult sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I like about you is you kind of gave me a totally different perspective on opposing counsel. Because when I started out, we just did PIP suits, PIP litigation, first party litigation. The more work you put in on a case, the bigger your fees are. And so it's very contentious litigation over $100 because I'm getting paid the more I work on a case. So I'm purposely papering a file. On an injury case, it's a lot different. It's like, let's take the depots, then we'll move from there. Some paper discovery, but not a lot of motions to compel and stuff like that typically.
Yeah, I think if you're doing it right, you're really not filing any motions. Because you're just I think the art of picking up the phone and just speaking to people is a lost art.
Mm-hmm.
We are so skeptical of everybody that we deal with, and I think we got to drop that barrier sometimes and just talk it through. Mm-hmm. Which is why I think mediation can be so successful also, where you just
nice plug for the mediation business you have.
where you just drop the gloves and let's just talk it through. Let's be transparent. Let's figure out what this is really about. Because look, I'm all about the idea of being obsessed. I think obsession is good, but I think if you become too obsessed, you get blinded by your own BS. And sometimes you don't get to see the forest through the trees, which I think is sometimes people's problems. Sometimes.
Yeah. And so your perspective is, look, I'm going to work with you long term. I've been in this business 25 years. You had a mentor who still is your partner.
My partner, absolutely. I was very blessed to meet him as I was a clerk.
Mm-hmm.
Clerked with him, and then the two of us kind of went on our own after leaving a defense firm.
The guy got named partner. You were a lawyer for like a year?
No. It was a year into it, he put my name on the letterhead.
Okay.
By the way, and kind of going to that mentality, ego doesn't belong in what we do, right? Mm-hmm. So his perspective was, I'm going to put your name on the letterhead, so you don't have to go around telling people, oh, my boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's my partner. Yeah. Whether I was really a partner or not back then, which I wasn't. Mm-hmm. But ego sometimes gets you in trouble in what we do. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lost art of communication, and kind of following that, there's a lost art of being a good listener. Yeah. Listen to what people have to say. By the way, sometimes they give up more information than they want to, but be a good listener. Listen to what they have to say, take it in, and then kind of play with it to get to where you both need to get to. Look, that's not to say there aren't plaintiffs' lawyers who take things too serious and defense lawyers who take things too serious and insurance companies who take things too serious. Mm-hmm. It's not going to get anywhere in the long run. I
just had a case come up recently this past week with this, I don't know how to describe him other than a prick. SIU adjuster who thinks he's a lawyer, probably went to law school or applied and didn't finish, and did a recorded statement with my client before we represented him. And the client is a moron, okay, 70-year-old guy, and he'd been in a prior car accident and had scrapes on the side of his car from hitting a railing. And he tried to get that included into this case. And on a recorded line said, yeah, there was another car who ran up on the side of me but took off. And there's no way. So he got rear-ended at 60 miles an hour on the highway. And so now the prick SIU adjuster is basically saying, maybe I should pick up the phone and talk to him. I called his bitch ass, he didn't answer, so I'm going to call him again, hopefully before he sees the podcast. But my client felt bad. 10 minutes later, called back and said, I want to apologize. I lied about the damage on the side of my car. But, I was rear-ended at full speed, and I use my car for a living, and I need the money. And so he literally said, I was trying to put this into the case, and I was wrong for that. And the guy says, you need to drop this case, it's insurance fraud. And I said, but he was rear-ended at 60 miles an hour, and he's still without his freaking car. They don't even want to pay for his car.
What happened to the days of apologies meaning stuff, right? What happened to those days? But no, they get something, and then all of a sudden it becomes that.
Yeah. Oh, you're done.
The case wasn't about getting rear-ended and injured. The case was about, for 10 minutes, the guy made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Right? But made up for it and apologized.
He felt so bad, he called back. Right. And they went back on a recorded line. And this is why you need a freaking lawyer before you talk to an insurance company, because you never know what... He said, Abe, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm in my 70s. I don't know. I thought it would be good. And the messed up part is his car's a total loss from the impact. So why he didn't
why even throw in the rest of it?
I know it really is ridiculous. But now. So anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna pick up the phone and call.
It's interesting what you say also, because we as lawyers, especially what we do, the personal injury world, we're looked down upon, right? We're the lowest,
chasers.
Right, we're the lowest of the rung. But the truth of the matter is we're not. We've, because of personal injury lawyers, so many great changes have made. The Pinto, the airbag issues, those things have all gotten fixed now. The hip cases, the striker hip, things.
Seatbelts, that was pushed by a lawyer here in Palm Beach County, pushed seatbelts for seatbelt loss.
Right, the problem is, and it's in every single industry, right? Mm-hmm. Some people give us a bad name. It just happens. But the majority of lawyers, at least the ones that I know, and I'm sure the ones that you know, good people trying to do the right things for their clients.
I know some other guys too, though, that aren't so good, but yeah.
And those are the ones that give us all a bad name. And they do, and we do have a bad name. But like you're saying, we're trying to do the right thing, trying to bring justice, and then you have an insurance company bringing over a release. And you and I have dealt with this. They bring over a release to somebody, they haven't contacted a lawyer, they don't know what their rights are, they don't know what they're signing.
Yeah.
But it's being pitched as, oh my God, look at what I'm doing for you that's so good.
Yeah.
And now that person is, again, pardon my language, but they're screwed.
Yeah. I was going to say fucked, but sure.
Okay. Screwed,
yeah.
But that
$1,000 release, and it's disgusting when they do it too, because they do it on bigger cases too. Total loss, person definitely has injuries, and they go to them right away, and they mislead them verbally, but in writing, they sign away all their rights to the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here, sign this. This is just for your car, but it's signing away everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crappy.
Yeah, and if you bring us any bills above $1,500, we'll consider it.
Right.
What does that mean? Nothing.
It means sign here, and then I'm never going to see you again.
Never going to answer your calls again.
And then when you hire a lawyer, I'm going to shove this up your ass.
Yeah, because that's the first thing they love to do is, why are you representing this guy? He already signed a release. We gave him $1,000. What more does he want? Well, he wants compensation for his injuries. His neck doesn't work right anymore, So, yeah.
Oh, but he signed this.
Yeah, I had him do that to a 70-something. It seems like I represent only 70-year-old men. I swear I'm not picking him up at the nursing home. But another guy in his 70s, concussion, and they had him sign a release. And they said, oh, but his wife was there too. She wasn't in the accident. She signed it. And I'm like, she has dementia. And so we got that one, we litigated it, and then we ended up getting him more money, but not what it should have been. Not what it should have been for a concussion. Concussion is a brain injury, and so not what it could have been, but it was better than what he got, which was like $500 or something. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's not, we talk about fair or what the truth is. Nothing about this is the truth or fair. Mm-hmm. It's how you present. It's how you present your case. It's what you can convince people of. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we do. I mean, it really is being an advocate. And the difficult ones, and we've dealt with this before, is when you're dealing with the death of a child or an injury of a child or something like that. I mean, that's the worst. And when you can't do anything for them because there's no insurance or there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very frustrating. Looking at a parent in the face and saying, I can't help you.
Yeah.
I'm one of those emotional guys too. I cry like crazy.
Yeah, I used to be a crybaby when I was growing up, but then after high school, then I just, no more tears come out. But I could be really stone cold, which is not good in those situations, but I try to empathize with them. But so tell us, craziest case, wildest case.
Wildest case. Well, greatest case was the case we had against the Department of Children and Families.
Okay, tell us about that one.
It was an abused little girl who.
How old roughly?
2.
Ugh.
2.
Sexually or physically?
No,
abused?
physically,
Wow.
not sexually.
Okay.
Physically. I don't know where your mind went there, but.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we've seen some weird shit, you know.
Where she ended up going to the hospital, unable to bear weight. So they took a scan and found a dot on her spine and thought she had something wrong with her spine, cancer or something. So they sent her to a hospital down in Miami. They did scans. Turned out she had a broken clavicle, a broken instep on her foot.
A 2-year-old. That's horrible.
Every time the mother walked into the room, she got freaked out and started crying.
Wow.
So the nurses of this hospital were willing to adopt her. Actually said, let us adopt her. They called DCF in. DCF really dropped the ball and ended up sending the kid home, back with the family. And it turned out that the mother's boyfriend, it's always the boyfriend, right? They say, picked her up by her feet and threw her against the wall.
Oh my God.
The most frustrating part about that case was we were trying to come to some resolution and not try this case. Because when you sue a city entity, a sovereign, that's called, even if you get a big verdict, you still got to get a claims bill passed because they're only responsible up to a certain amount. And at the time it was just $100,000. So we were trying to come up with a settlement, just give us a settlement and let us go to the legislature and try to get something passed. And they said, no, and made us try this case and got, nearly a $36 million verdict for this girl that ended up getting passed through the legislature thanks to everybody who did the right thing eventually.
Because DCF didn't stop this child abuse. They were informed of it and did nothing to stop it?
It gets even worse, right. So they're informed that there's a concern about this child and the mother, that the child's not bonding with the mother, it's got these weird fractures, they're concerned. So DCF steps in and says, all right, well, we're going to do a home study. We're going to check out the house and make sure it's okay. Well, they went to the house and found, and I'm quoting, no food, no baby food, no baby clothing, no baby furniture, no evidence that a child even existed in this house.
Wow.
And then decided it was a good idea to send her back there.
Wow. So what ended up happening besides the broken bones? Was there...
Well, the broken bones was just the part that led them to call DCF.
Okay.
What ended up happening was this woman's paramour, boyfriend, they think, picked the little girl up by her legs and threw her against the wall. So
wow.
she can't eat, she can't really walk, she can't really communicate. How
is she now?
She graduated high school.
Wow.
Special high school, and she's doing well.
She has special needs still?
Absolutely. She'll always have special needs. But what was amazing was she was adopted by a family up in the Panhandle that adopts special needs kids. So you talk about the ultimate do-gooders in life, right?
Wow.
All they do is help out kids that need it.
Wow.
If you have a baby that's born with special needs, you actually can stay at their house and they'll teach you how to care for it.
Okay.
Really great people.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So there were tears lost, watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to cry. Jeez. Yeah. So, wow. And then she was born healthy,
perfectly healthy child,
and then just slapped up against the wall, like brain issues.
Everything.
Wow.
Brain issues, speech issues.
Wow.
Mobility issues, communication issues, eating issues. I mean,
these boyfriends are such a nightmare for women in need. It's the worst. We have a case, right? Well, we can't really talk too much about it.
But we have a case now.
Asshole boyfriend jumps in, and I see it all the time, and it pisses me off. Is these guys are losers, and they find somebody with a case, or they find somebody that can do something for them,
right.
And the women stick with them, and then the guy gets the piece of the settlement and bounces. I had a woman who was practically homeless. She was down in the Keys. She'd been in multiple car accidents. She's like a repeat client for me. She worked hard, but she battles mental health issues, so when she goes off the railing, she loses her job. A month later, she gets back on medicine or something. She stabilizes and then starts to rebuild. And she calls me crying. at night, I need this case settled. I need this case settled. My life is ruined. Blah, blah, blah. She had a huge surgery on her neck, and she had $100 and something thousand from the policy limits that were available on that case going towards her. I think she had like a BI and some UM or something. I don't know if she had UM, but she did. So it's coming her way. She goes, listen, I need $10,000 right now for my boyfriend. He needs a lawyer. He got arrested. And I was like, why would you give this guy $10,000? You just called me a week ago. You're homeless. She's like, I love him. I need to get him out of jail. And his lawyer quoted me $10,000. And then the worst part was the criminal defense lawyer called me. And I told him, I said, I'm not giving you $10,000. I said, that guy needs to figure out his own life. This scumbag lawyer wanted $10,000 knowing the scenario. It's crazy. Right. These boyfriends are the worst.
You and I literally finished a case a couple weeks ago where a boyfriend was it was a life-changing case for this woman who was homeless, who was all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And the boyfriend would not let her out of the sight, to the point where when we were signing stuff, I pulled her aside and said, listen, this is life-changing for you. This is going to be it. And she was having none of it.
Yeah.
Everything was to the boyfriend. They were going to start some business, whatever it was.
I hate that. Yeah.
It's difficult
Makes
when you
me
know
angry.
It's going to go bad.
Because we got to work so hard to get these results that we get, and then scumbag boyfriend jumps in, and it just you're talking about your case, and I'm making it about me.
Well, it was our case.
No. This one was, but I'm talking about the child.
It could be yours.
Yeah. Can I take credit?
Absolutely.
Can I take credit like some lawyers do for trial results?
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
No name mentioning. Mentioning. So okay. So that was your biggest.
That was the biggest
verdict.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biggest anything, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you had a settlement like that, you wouldn't be working. Right. If it was a verdict, you got to work for it. But a settlement, I'd be on the island somewhere.
Right. It was devastating.
Yeah.
It was devastating. But there are cases like that all over the place.
Who did you represent? How did you represent her? Because she had a parent who probably was taking away the rights. So who hired you? A guardian?
That is a great question. So it started out as a pro bono case, where I used to do a lot of work for the pro bono of West Palm Beach.
You're such a sweetheart, Joe.
So they called me in to make sure everything was going right. When I was looking at the case, I said, God, I think there's a case here. I called my partner Mark, brought him over to West Boca Medical. We sat down with the intensivist, and he said, this kid's going to live. I mean, she's going to have a lot of problems, but she's going to live. But DCF really dropped the ball here.
Wow.
So that's actually how it started. The mother lost her rights, like you said. The father was nowhere. I think he passed away, or I don't even remember what it was. But when she got adopted, it was that person who hired us.
Okay.
And it was frustrating because there were a lot of lawyers circling that case, trying to poach it.
Yeah.
But the right thing happens.
Yeah. You know what drives me crazy is the lawyers that want to poach it would settle it for the 100, and that's it. This is what you get.
I don't even think the 100 was offered.
Really?
It was terrible.
Wow.
It was terrible. It was really a terrible, gross thing. But eventually, when it got up to the legislature, everybody did the right thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, from the head of DCF to everybody did the right thing.
Can we tell that part of the story without mentioning names?
Well, we could say that the claims bill got passed, and it got passed because somebody upset somebody else, and something happened, and it ended up getting passed.
Someone in politics didn't like someone else in politics.
And then something happened.
And
something good happened.
Yeah.
But you know what? Whatever it is that happened negative ended up taking care of this girl for a lifetime. So whatever the reason, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Call or email Joe and get the full story on it. The names on that are hilarious. You got to get him liquored up a little bit before he'll tell you the names, but it was when really you see it, thing. When you hear what happened, it was amazing. And I'm sure they did it for some good cause as well.
Everybody should be proud of themselves for getting the right thing to happen.
Yeah, and so now she has money to take care, food, clothes, medical attention.
Well, yeah, because when minors, and I'm sure you've probably talked about this on other podcasts, when minors are involved, the state of Florida does a really great job of protecting the kids.
Too great of a job.
Well,
even on the small settlements, it drives me crazy with the overhead of hiring a guardian, but yeah.
But anytime you need a guardian, I'll do a pro bono for you. Done.
Sweetheart Joe.
Anytime anybody needs a guardian to help a kid out, I will do a pro bono.
Okay.
Thrown out there.
Cool.
No, but what happens is they make sure that the money isn't accessible to the parents who, by the way, most parents do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Most parents want to see. but there are ones that don't.
Yeah.
So the laws in Florida do a nice job protecting the child. So this particular case, the DCF case, all that money was put in an annuity that pays her out. I think it's a long time ago. I think monthly it pays her out for her needs. And all
Okay.
that stuff.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so it wasn't like a situation where, oh, that person adopted somebody. No,
Now they got all the money.
This was a purely good person who is going to end up in heaven because she's amazing.
Wow, that's awesome. So let's see here. Biggest case
That's the
we
biggest
talked
case.
about.
Craziest case, we had a crazy nursing home case
Okay.
where we discovered records of our client who had passed away. We discovered records 3 days after their passing that they were bathing, they were eating, they were crazy stuff that happened.
What did they eat?
Yeah, exactly.
Was
it
it
was a
good?
liquid dye. It was a liquid dye.
Oh my God. So what was the end result? That was a nursing home negligence case where they cooked the books, so to speak?
What happened was,
or-
I don't know that they cooked the books. I know that they let this, it was a tragic story and they let this individual pass away. But the fact that they were charting after his death was a pretty horrible thing, and that case settled.
Did they get paid by anybody for billing? Like, did they bill for those dates? Like, how some people, doctors will bill for dates that never took place. Is that what happened?
Great question. I don't remember and I don't know, but I'll tell you, a defense lawyer is the one who brought it to our attention. So kudos to him.
That's what happens when you have a great relationship with everybody.
Look,
Yeah.
our lives are built on relationships. Our jobs are built on relationships. There's, in law school, I remember my last day of school, our professor said, do not piss anybody off, because in our world, everybody has a very, very, very short memory, a very long memory.
Mm-hmm.
And they will, anything you do to somebody will eventually come back. Don't take too much pleasure in your highs and get too low in your lows, because everything's going to be all right if you do it the right way.
Gotcha.
And treat people the right way.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, do you want to talk about that other case with the burn or no?
We didn't end up taking that case. We actually, another crazy case was there was an accident on a highway. A guy gets out, a do-gooder, to help these people,
Okay.
along with other people, get out to help this individual in the car, and a truck came and ran them down. Our guy lost his leg, the other guy lost his life.
Wow.
But, you don't want to dissuade people from doing good stuff, but,
Yeah.
you got to be so careful. It was all caught on dash cam also, which was interesting.
Wow.
Look, you just got to be careful. You can't mess with phones and texting, and if you're tired, pull over. I know you feel like, look, we live in a world where Uber exists. How great is that?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't ever have to get behind the wheel,
Drunk,
drunk, tired, angry, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just call an Uber.
Yeah. Or Lyft.
Or
We're not-
right,
we're not-
right, I'm right.
No sponsorships here, Joe. Come on.
Sorry. The good people from Uber and Lyft.
That eventually, I was just talking about this the other day. Hopefully, we'll be out of business eventually with self-driving cars. In a way.
How scary is that for us?
Yeah. Well, there's still plenty of other messed up shit that happens in life, but as far as car accident goes, Tesla. Have you been in a Tesla with the self-driving feature?
I've never been with a self-driving
It's
feature.
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You
I was
just
in a
take it where you
Tesla
wanna go.
once, but then I got caught, so they asked me to leave.
Sir, what are you doing in our
Right,
vehicle?
exactly, right, yeah.
Do we know you?
Right. And why are you naked? Yeah.
Where's your clothes? It's not even around the car. How did you get here? That reminds me of my friend. He ran miles from the police, butt naked, out of his house when the police came to get him. Ran miles in through the bushes along Palmetto Park Road here.
I was scraped up as hell from those bushes.
That wasn't you, Joe. That was another guy.
Oh, sorry.
But that's so funny. Yeah, the Tesla self-driving is sick. I mean, you type in the address you want to go, just like on your Waze or whatever you use, and it'll drive you there. And it will recognize red lights, green lights, yellow lights. It will maintain a safe distance. It'll keep you in your own lane without even touching the wheel. And it's sick.
What happens if a dog runs by? Is it they're able to detect things?
I didn't have any dogs run in front of me,
Okay.
but it's supposed to detect stuff. And every now and then, it's all camera sensors. So if it detects something weird,
Then it must. Right.
it'll slow down tremendously, but which could probably screw up the guy behind you. But Other than that, it like really maintains a safe distance, which is phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the technology is incredible. Everything is, look, life is getting easier and better, but at the same time, easier and better doesn't always make it easier and better, right?
Yeah.
With stuff always comes stuff.
New stuff. Yeah.
New stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Speaking of new stuff, I just had my first case where a client hit a cow. So I've had clients hit deer and wild animals, which are not insured, so there's no coverage for that. But I had a client hit a cow, killed the cow. Dead cows look very sad. I don't eat red meat anymore, but that's before that. No insurance on the cow.
so this is ironic. I'll tell you something ironic. We were just retained by a family of cats to represent their father who was hit by a guy. Luckily, your guy has coverage.
Yeah. My guy does have coverage.
Right.
He was in a pretty big truck driving in the middle of the night and hit a cow. So I guess we're going to have to talk it out.
We just got to get the estate opened and then we'll talk.
Move.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird part was there was another cow a quarter mile ahead of this cow in the dark, just wandering.
Drunk.
Drunk. No, they were the two guys from Dude, Where's My Car? Ashton Kutcher and whatever the other guy's name was. Oh man, that's hilarious.
That second cow's making a claim for infliction of emotional distress for seeing his buddy get
Seeing
killed.
his buddy get killed. Oh man. Yeah, you know what's really weird about the cow is it's branded one time, and I guess every time somebody gets it, they brand it. But the new owner does. Apparently, we found out the guys who own cows don't brand them anymore, and there was a tag on the cow's ear supposed to tell you who the owner is. It's blank, and the reason is no one wants to get sued if something happens with the cow, so they're purposely not branding it. And then the cow's dead, so they just leave it there, and there's cows on this side of the road, cows on this side of the road for miles from different ranchers and stuff.
Well, the cow that was killed in your accident, I heard, had a brand of like a Chevy sign, right on the side of the right on the side.
Right on the side. Oh my God.
Your guy said, "I'm going to brand that cow."
So
It was
yeah,
a Tesla.
It was a Tesla. It was a Tesla brand. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
It was a Tesla. I saw that case with the Tesla where it hit somebody, but literally they had the camera footage. Tesla, I guess, records camera footage when there's an impact, kind of like an auto dash cam, and you could just see like two legs, shadows moving in the dark. It was pitch black at night, and there was poor lighting from the city streets. So.
So the car videos it, or
yeah,
or
the
like
car.
some headquarters?
No, it was the car.
Really?
Yeah, it was the car. Yeah.
God, how amazing! Dash cams are changing what we do also.
Well, this is a 360 view dash cam. They have multiple cameras constantly recording at the time of the impact. But yeah.
We recently had a case where, thank God for dash cam, it was a red light issue where one guy said he ran the red light, the other guy said he. We had dash cam from inside the defendant's car, and you actually see him falling asleep and running through the red light and crashing.
Was this like an Amazon car or something?
No. It was not.
They complain about that, and the Amazon drivers, I'm being recorded all day.
No, and what was interesting is obviously they didn't want to give up the dash cam video.
Oh,
So that was a whole fight to get that.
Why didn't they just settle that case?
Who
Drives
knows?
me crazy.
Who knows?
Just settle the case. If you know that's what happened, just settle the
Right.
case. It's so weird. Now, maybe you had a high demand that you were asking for, but didn't your demand go up when you saw that?
It was actually a pretty small policy. We're litigating it right now. It wasn't a huge
Oh.
policy.
Is that
Okay.
bad faith, you think, or no?
You know what? We'll find out. But
Wow.
remember, to get bad faith, you got to go through the trial. You got to get the verdict.
Yeah.
You got to, and then it's a whole thing also.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I love when clients tell me, I got a big class action. I'm going to make you millions of dollars, or there's bad faith on this case. And I'm like, oh, God.
Right. What does that tell you? They spoke to somebody already who didn't want it. Right?
Yeah.
Or the most frustrating thing we hear, right? I have full coverage. Don't worry.
Full coverage.
Full coverage.
What does that mean?
Right.
Yeah, I hate when people tell me, I have Windhaven, I have full coverage.
Right.
Well, Windhaven doesn't sell any insurance anymore, thank God. But when they did, they sold no BI policies.
Right.
Yeah, no BI, no UM. I was a lawyer for a year. I didn't understand insurance coverage because I just did PIP suits back then. I understood PIP, but I didn't understand the other stuff. And then Who's banging out here, Dennis? We gotta go. We're gonna slap somebody outside.
They're working.
Knock them out. They're working outside. Okay, it's a construction zone.
It's the Cow's family.
It's the Cow's family protesting right now.
They want to talk to you.
Leave it. They're banging on pots and pans out there. My brother is such a doofus. He doesn't know any Spanish, and we went to Cuba to visit my uncle. And we're at the.
Your uncle lives in Cuba.
He lived in Cuba. He passed away a few years ago, but we went to go visit him. I'd never seen him. I was 28 years old. Never met him in my life. And he was the one family member who stayed behind in Cuba. And we go to.
I didn't know you had Cuban family. Oh,
my
your
mom,
mother.
my mom. Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm so loud all the time. Yeah. So we're in El Moro, which is like a little area in Cuba in Havana, and we're there. And my he gets so excited. He's like, it's beautiful from this one spot there. And he's like, this is gorgeous. He's like, man, I'm proud to be, Cuban, whatever. And we grew up in Miami. He knows no Spanish. And he starts chanting, libertad, libertad. And I'm like, dude, we're going to get killed. And he goes, why? I'm so proud. What are you talking about?
Because Revenga was right there. That's why.
The Revenga hit. I was Tony Montana last night, and that's what he said in the movie. He goes, what was that Revenga hit, huh? I was like, dude, all the Cuban vendors that were there, like behind a table selling little tchotchkes or whatever, turned around. Everybody. They all turned around, and I was like, I better move. Either a bullet's going to come in or some guys with sticks are going to come get him. So we jumped in a cab and got out of here. But, yeah, they're outside protesting right now.
Right. It's funny. My father would not let me go back to Cuba.
Never?
Never. Don't go back. My
So,
mother went back. My
oh, really?
father, no.
So I went back the one time. I'd never met my uncle, and I have a niece, his daughter never met, and the son, he had a son, he went to Mexico and then went to the U.S. to escape, but my mom left there when she was like 14. Right before Castro announced he was going communist with that famous speech,
right.
She had left before that. She went to Pennsylvania. Cuban girl doesn't speak any English in Pennsylvania.
Okay. So did my mother.
Really?
Went to Philadelphia. That's weird, right?
That is weird.
By the way,
do we have the same mom?
Right. I knew you looked familiar. A lot of Cubans in Philadelphia, a lot of Cubans in Tampa.
Really?
Obviously,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So her older sister married a Pennsylvania guy through pen pal stuff through the mail. Super weird back then. And then, they started dating.
Wasn't that people in jail? Right? Isn't that bad?
No, that's Dennis. What is that? You know what that is?
Mail order Bryce?
Is that like love after lockup or something?
No, but I know you. But yeah, so she married some guy. It was like a farmer dude. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. So my mom went to live with them.
Where in Pennsylvania?
I have no clue. I never asked. I figured Pennsylvania's just Pennsylvania. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Lot in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'd never been. I'm a Florida guy, dude. I love
where
Florida.
in Miami did you grow up?
So I grew up in North Miami Beach.
Okay.
Till I was 10. I went to Temple Menorah. My mother insisted.
So did I.
You went to Temple Menorah?
As a wee little kid.
Really?
Before I went to the next school. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And then I went to Biscayne Elementary.
Okay.
And I was going to go to Nautilus Middle School.
Right.
I met a lawyer last night who's like, yeah, I went to Nautilus Middle School. There was gang fights every day. So thank God I didn't go. My brother got a tennis scholarship to play at FAU. He won a doubles championship for Miami-Dade Community College.
Oh, wow.
And so we came up here. But, yeah.
I heard that there was a lot of gang activity, like in the North. Like I know Nautilus had that. I think they were the Warlords, right? Was the gang the Warlords?
I have no idea.
And Temple Menorah had the Landlords, right? Weren't they were competing gangs, I think, right?
It's super weird. I had a kid that I went to elementary school with who had an older brother or something, and he went to Nautilus. He got in a gang fight. I broke my pinky with some stupid thing in my house as a kid, and then I'm at the hospital and I see him, and he's got a knife cut around his head from like a gang fight. He's like, yeah, I'm in the Latin King Jr. gang or something. And I said, and I was a child at this point. I had no maturity level at all. I'm like, why are you in a gang? I was like, what is that?
Yeah, a gang.
Super weird.
Definitely not for me. I was a professional fleer. When I was growing
up.
I
run. Yeah, I run. When I see danger, I run. My friends know. They're like, no, Abe's not sticking around for a fight. He's out of here. He's fucking gone.
I'm not the guy you want next to me.
I talk a lot.
Right.
I talk a lot of trash. And actually, my son, I'm teaching him how to play ball. I said, you got to learn how to talk trash before you can even dribble. That's really how you get started. So
Yeah, you better be good though. But yeah, no, look, getting back to what we do, it's amazing when you can do the right thing for a family and they give you a hug. And then it's frustrating when you can't help somebody for whatever reason.
I hate those cases when you can't help someone. We had a case where I think I tried referring it to you, and you're like, "Hey, this is just not even a case, dude." The guy, security guard, 18 years old, got off his job shift.
Oh, I know the case you're talking about.
And he was found like a mile away, and he got hit by a car in the middle of the night. It was a rural area in Homestead, and just couldn't help him. And he was off duty. He was not on work anymore. The family felt like he was chased but I had no evidence of that. There was just zero evidence of that. And the guy who hit him was here with no papers, no BI, no UM, no policies anywhere. And that was a sad case. Like, I think he was 18 years old. It's a tough case. Nice kid, got a job, working as a security guard in a tough neighborhood, and just a really strange case.
Yeah, those are the devastating ones when you got to look at parents and.
I didn't have the balls to tell the family, but I had to do it eventually, and they were really pissed. They were super pissed.
Not to sound cheesy, we had a case where 4 kids in there between 18 and 22 were hit head on, and they all passed away in a car accident.
Wow.
So I ended up going to the funeral of one of the girls that was in the car. Keep in mind, I've never met this family, never met the girl. Case got referred over. I cried like a baby in that funeral, so much so that the mother had to come over and console me.
Wow.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible.
Wow.
Terrible.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to have thick skin, but at the same token, you got to be able to sympathize with people. So it's a weird. People think what we do is easy. It's so not easy.
It's not. It's
really
tough, and it wears you down a lot. Because imagine the first $1 million policy that I got tendered was a woman in her 40s, and she got she got rear-ended by an 18-wheeler. It was a guy with no papers driving an 18-wheeler on a company that he created and owned. And so he had a $1 million policy, no policy for the trailer, just a truck. Hit her at full speed. They cut her out with the jaws of life. They thought she was dead. She was unconscious. Trauma hawk her. She ends up having fractured vertebrae, a fracture here, and that was it. Okay, and some memory loss from the loss of consciousness she had, a brain injury. And the insurance company's opening offer was like $400,000, and I was like, no. And I have a guy twice my age telling me, there's some problems with this case. She didn't really treat. She didn't get any surgeries. She didn't get any injections. She got the hospital treatment, and that was it. Nothing else. She went to the ortho. They offered her kyphoplasty, which is like basically cement in the cracks of your fracture to heal it, to mend it quicker. She didn't even want to do that. And so she didn't work for 4 months, maybe 6 months, and her boss paid her salary, nicest people in the world, paid her salary when she couldn't work. The only thing that she had was, because of all the injuries she had blood clots. You can't, it's a contraindication if you have blood clots to take the pill, birth control. And she was in her 40s, and she wanted to have a baby with her new husband. And she had to have her uterus removed because she couldn't take the pill anymore. The other methods of birth control were equally ineffective and dangerous for her. So she ended up having her uterus removed. She's in her 40s, and the insurance company lawyer told me, come on, Abe, she's in her 40s. She's not going to have another kid. I think Halle Berry just had a kid, or in like her.
Yeah. By the way, people are having kids in their 40s.
Yeah.
That's like,
standard now. 50s and 60s is like whoa, but 40s you can't even say anything without offending people, right? And so I said, sure, I'll file the lawsuit, and any women in that jury box that have, when I start describing the process for having her uterus removed, they're going to be crossing their legs really uncomfortably, and they're going to give her all the money, maybe more. And so he goes, let me talk to the insurance adjuster. And then they got me the $1 million. And it was like the weirdest thing.
That's an amazing job. And then
they started at 400 and then just gave me the rest of the money. There was no back and forth.
And I don't know if you go through this, but we go through this. You settle a big case, then okay, now where's the next one? Now how do we keep this going with all the advertising and all the...
I got to go back to my 10 KBI policies.
Right. No, it's that's the tough part, is there's so many of us around. And I know you see this also. Everybody's doing it. So you've got criminal defense lawyers trying to do it. You've got
tax attorneys.
Because they think it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's not.
It's not easy.
It's not. I love the transactional attorneys. There's many different types of attorneys, but typically your transactional attorneys, like your wills and trust attorney, is not going to be the same mentality or personality that you want handling your injury case. To tell somebody, I'm not taking $400,000. $400,000 to some attorneys is like, I'm going to get $100,000 in fees. I'm going to take that. Let's get $500 and call it a day. We were talking about it earlier with the billboards.
Right.
It says they got me $500, but it was worth $700. They're two different types of personalities. That drives me crazy. And then you get the, I do door law. Oh God, please don't take the injury case from me. I'll pay you a referral fee. We'll get more money than the client would have gotten with you. No offense to you or your abilities, but it's specialized,
Right. You don't want me doing landlord work or wills or stuff like that. I got a C in wills. I can write 70% of a will right.
I got an A in constitutional law. That's the only A I've ever gotten, and then I followed it up with an A in election law.
All right, now I gotta go. I
can't
go. Sit with somebody who.
But I was a C student. And I got A's in those two classes. I have no idea. I bribed the teacher. Maybe that's why he liked me. I don't know. My name. I don't know.
I did not get A's in those classes.
No? Where'd you go to school?
Nova, University of Miami, then Nova.
What happened?
University of Miami undergrad.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? What happened in the middle? Okay, so undergrad. Okay. Yeah, I went to FAU and then I went to FIU. I was gonna go to Nova. And the week of orientation, they called me FIU and was like, hey, do you want to come here? And I'm thinking, it's cheaper. It's in Miami. I'll do it.
Right.
That's all I took consideration. I was like, perfect. So you went to Nova. You grew up in Miami.
Miami Beach, 15th and Euclid.
Wow. Yep. You're like in the heart.
In the heart.
In the heart of the city. Okay, cool. Cool. You miss it? Different vibe.
Yes, until I go back there. And then I don't miss it so much. So my brother is still down in Miami Beach.
Okay.
My father's still in Kendall. So, because the whole Cuban thing, you can't move out of Kendall.
Oh, Kendall's not my flavor.
But, so I like going to visit, but then when I'm there, I'm like, okay, now I realize why I don't like. When I first started practicing, we practiced in Miami, in downtown.
Oh, cool.
And I remember when...
With your partner now?
With Mark.
Oh, wow. You guys are both from there.
And I remember Mark saying, all right, we're gonna move out of downtown and go to Kendall. And I was like, I think it's a mistake moving out of downtown. It was the best thing we ever did.
Really?
Then when he said, let's move out of Kendall to Boca, I was like, I'm not so sure. It was the best thing we ever did.
So you guys moved together? Are you guys partners outside of work as well, or what?
I met Mark.
That's an amazing partnership.
Yeah, we have been together 30 years.
Wow.
Including me being an intern.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was super lucky.
He was a defense attorney. You were working
at the defense firm
with him.
And then he said, let's go.
He said, pack your shit, we're leaving.
It was a little different. He actually said to me, I'm thinking about leaving. And I got scared because I didn't want to get stuck there. He and I worked together. So one day over lunch, he goes, and I'm thinking about maybe you can come with me. I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a very lucky situation.
To go back to the Tony Montana thing.
Yeah. Everything always goes back to the Tony Montana.
I love Tony Montana. Yeah. I was walking around last night with a bag of fake cocaine and throwing it in the air at people. But Frank, Elvira, Tony goes, she goes, what about Frank? He goes, Frank's not coming back no more. You coming with me now. Right. Is that what he did? Yeah.
It was something like that. You're right. But no, I again, love the guy, crazy blessed, great lawyer, by the way. It was lucky.
And he does a lot of your med mal work too.
Yeah, we do. Our partnership really is a partnership. We work on the cases together.
Oh, so you do med mal as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't. Dude, I'm learning so much about you on this podcast. Yeah, it's crazy. Nursing home, med mal. Okay.
Nursing home, med mal. Yeah, we work on it together.
Okay, I got to start sending you my med mal because I've been sending them somewhere else thinking that you guys didn't do them.
Look, med mal nowadays is so
tough.
hard.
It's
tough.
I mean,
we take, maybe one in every 200 cases or something, but yeah, I mean, they're interesting.
I've had med mal attorneys tell me, I don't want that case, and it was an instrument left inside of a patient. Because the threshold is
just aren't there?
There's no damages. They did a little procedure, took it out, that was it, and the patient had it in there for a couple months maybe, and then they took it right out. And I guess it's a bummer to undergo that surgery, but they have those caps on med mal damages. They have the new pre-suit required. Did the caps get lifted?
The caps are defeated.
Just recently, like a year or two ago.
But you still to pursue a med mal case is not like pursuing an auto case.
Yeah.
There's the pre-suit period. There's the experts. They're very, very costly.
Okay.
So they need to have a certain value to make it worth.
What do you think the value is?
I think you have a hard number? I think you need to be north of. Be nice to be north of 500.
And damages.
To make it work. Well, and by the way, and keep in mind, a lot of the doctors, in Florida, believe it or not, you're not required to have insurance if you're a doctor.
Right.
So a lot of guys don't have insurance.
Yeah.
So even if there's a case, they're protected. There's very difficult.
They do asset protection strategies.
Absolutely.
I thought about getting into asset protection because I know some tricks, and but then I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm a car accident guy. I love doing car accidents.
But you know a lot of doctors who probably could use that.
Yeah. I mean, I got techniques that these other guys don't even know about, man. These asset protection guys don't even know about. I got all sorts of hidden techniques. I'm from Miami, Joe. I don't mess around.
Like faking your own death and then just right.
I got all sorts of cool asset protection strategies, but just from like researching and figuring stuff out. But I don't want to do that because then I'm gonna get dragged into like all these litigation with rich people, and I don't want to do that. I don't like rich people.
No.
Rich people annoy me.
As long as they have good insurance, I like them. But after that, it's
yeah. So the fact that they don't have insurance makes them less likely to get sued.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
But if it's something catastrophic,
they will still get sued, but you're not going to recover like you would if you're an insurance company.
Right.
Yeah. Those cases are very, very tough. But my first case that I actually ever brought in as a plaintiff lawyer was a malpractice case where a lady went in with stomach issues to a hospital, and they ended up cutting off her leg.
Can you tell us who the doctor was that did that? I don't want to go to that doctor. Oh my God.
He's not practicing anymore.
Oh, thank God.
But yeah, cut off her leg.
You know, what I love about the FJA is they are advocates for Floridians, not just for lawyers, but for Floridians, because if they pass a law in the Florida legislature that makes it harder for us to do our job, that actually makes it harder for consumers to recover money for that lady who lost her leg. What's she going to do walking around with one leg now? She needs money for therapies, all sorts of
everything
in her house. If she has stairs in her house, it's tough to get up.
Prosthetics,
everything. So the FJA, they put out a statistic that was, I'm assuming it was accurate because they're a really legitimate organization, top-notch people.
They're the best organization that we have in the state.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're fantastic, and they do a lot of advocacy for Floridians. They said that something like, I'm butchering the stat, but it was something like 5% of all med mal claims are against the same people, right. The same guys over and over again. It's basically, and from being in this business, man, there's some shitty doctors out there. You meet someone, they say, oh, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. You assume, oh, this guy's very knowledgeable, he must be good. They suck.
Right.
They have bad results. They're on drugs. They drink. They party all night. And then they show up to do your surgery and they smile in your face and they have Scotch breath or whatever. And
it's a very scary thing. You hope that your clients, you hope you're leading your clients to the right people.
Yeah.
And you hope that they're doing a little research themselves.
Yeah.
Always you hope they're doing the research themselves. But yeah, getting back to the FJA, I didn't even know what the FJA was. I got on board of the FJA. And until you go up to Tallahassee and see what they do, it's unbelievable what they do for our practice.
Yeah. You connected me with them, right. And then I had to bring a check.
Right.
Because that's how strongly you told me they were amazing. I bring a check, we go to dinner.
Yes.
And then they paid the bill.
With your money.
With my money.
Right.
He told me about that.
By the way, thank you for dinner. It was delicious.
That was a good dinner. That was a good dinner. But no, I'm being facetious. But it was great. And the people at their organization are freaking awesome. And so I'm trying to get more connected and plugged in with the FJA because I want to be a part of their success because they do a lot of things for Florida. So if you're watching from the FJA, we love you.
Right. Paul, Rob, Tiffany, we're
Don't now you're gonna leave somebody's name out. They're gonna get mad and be
yeah.
like, Abe, why didn't you mention my name too?
No, they really are. It's unbelievable what they do for us.
Yeah, so we're looking this year to get. I did not like the way they went on PIP. They really backed getting rid of PIP. A big chunk of my business is PIP suits, but I know their heart's in the right place and they do a lot of positive things besides that. The seatbelt laws was a big push that they had.
The
Booster seats,
trying to block the med mouse. I mean, everything
Yeah.
they do is so helpful to our practices.
Yeah, and a lot of people think they think that the FJA trial lawyers, they're just trying to make more money for their members. But if we're making more money, that means
we're helping people.
It's because we're helping people. Yeah, that's not money that they just. I love when these clients, I got in a car accident, I'm going to get rich. I'm like, no, you're not. This is compensation. They're not going to just give you. Occasionally, we have those clients that they get a windfall or life-altering money where it's they could put a down payment on a home or something like that. Occasionally, but the majority of it is, hey, you're going to get compensated. You're going to get some money in your pocket. You're going to feel better, hopefully, with the right doctors that we can steer you towards, connect you with. But but the FGA does great work. Trying to think what other crazy case. What do people want to hear about? Tough, huh?
Yeah, look, I think the biggest thing that people have to understand is just because you're in an accident or just because something happens doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to become rich.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and this is a huge one, and we're having these conversations all the time, right? Just because you fall on somebody's property doesn't mean they're at fault.
Yeah.
You always have to prove that somebody did something wrong. So that's like the best question you ask. All right, you fell, you got hurt. Who did what wrong?
Right.
That's important.
Yeah.
And you always got to wonder that. Obviously, if you ever fall, whatever, take pictures. Make sure you document everything because things get lost.
Oh yeah, and videos too are even better than pictures. I want pictures too, but videos are helpful.
Anything you can do to help out, get as much information as possible. I'll tell you a crazy story. We had a lady get into an accident a few weeks ago. I think it was on a Saturday. Called us on a Monday. I got into an accident. I'm like, okay, well, tell us what happened. Did the police come? No, I didn't call the police because I didn't want my insurance rates to go up.
Oh, I hate those people.
Then just give me the information of the person who hit you. Oh, no, he just said that we could, we'll deal with it separately. So shouldn't have the person's name, didn't have a license plate, didn't have anything, and she had a totaled car. So her trying not to get her insurance rates up caused her to...
And now she's got to live with the pain and suffering, the car
being demolished with no collision insurance.
Oh, all because she didn't have collision.
Wow. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Get into an accident, get the info, call the cops, do what you have to do.
Yeah, I'm here. I just heard yesterday. So we opened an office in Orlando. We closed on it a couple weeks ago, and now we're going to do some remodeling. So we're up there. We met with a clinic that refers us clients that are in a car accident and treating with them. And they said that in Kissimmee area, there's not enough police. And so instead of waiting 3 hours for a police officer to show up and take a report, people are just leaving. They're saying, listen, man, I'm not going to wait here that long. I got things to do. And in this society, everything's like this. So if the cops don't show up right away, they're leaving anyways. And they're not exchanging information.
And that's the key. At least exchange information.
Yeah.
At least do that. Take some pictures of the car. Take a license plate.
You feel weird snapping photos of other people's car, but it's a legal matter. Take the photos. You might need them.
It's the world everything's on video.
It's the world we live in.
Everybody's taking pictures of everything.
Yeah. I know. 5 years ago, I used to feel so weird of people taking video footage of public places. I'm what's wrong with you? But now it's just how it is. It's just you got to feel comfortable doing it because it's just everywhere. Look, we have a surveillance camera right there. We're being watched right now.
All right, I'm going to put the stuff back. But you bring up an interesting point, by the way, which is everybody lives their life with video and all that. So how frustrating is it? You get a client that's telling you how hurt they are, but you get on their Instagram and they're breakdancing and they're doing this and they're doing,
Yeah.
I don't look. We want people to go on with their lives. Just be honest about it. If you can go do certain things, do it. Don't live your life on social media. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing out. I'm big on social media now. Since the pandemic, I'm like a social media whore. I'm on there every day.
But you haven't, thank God, been involved in an accident telling your doctor, I can't walk while you're running a marathon.
Well,
you know what I mean? So that's tough.
Those people are interesting. I had a young lady who was a personal trainer. She worked out a lot. She squatted more than any man in this office could, and she was complaining about herniated discs, and the defense attorney got her social media and sent it to me, and this was years ago before I even went. I didn't have an Instagram account. I didn't really go on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God. So now we have a policy in place. It's like, listen, be careful what you post. Just know that people can access what you're posting. Because she said, Abe, that's a more recent post. That wasn't like right after the accident, the first 6 months, blah, blah, blah. They always have a story behind how they are. And maybe it's truthful. Maybe there's some shadiness or truthfulness to it. Either way, but it kills cases. Kills cases, yeah.
Kills cases.
Because now they show that, just like we were talking about earlier, they hang their hat on one little thing. They hang their hat on one video of you at a gym, just not lifting weights, just at a gym, and your case is destroyed.
And you're doing their investigative work for them.
Yeah.
They don't need to hire investigators and have you followed. You're giving them everything you need.
No face, no case.
No, right.
There you go. Can't catch me if I don't film it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So cool. So Dan, I think we're good on time. We're good. Joe, it's been a pleasure. You are a rock star. I love talking with you.
You are a rock star, and it was awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me here.
Thanks.
Love to do it again. I'll be back next week.
We'll put your contact info in the video so people can get that. If they want to get in touch with you for any reason, they can hit you up. We'll put your contact info online for them.
Yep. Much appreciated.
We'll put some videos of you working out and stuff like that too.
Those don't exist. But no, thank you guys.
Cool,
really appreciate it. This is awesome.